Silent Hill Origins on the PlayStation 2. After the renegade inclusion of Silent Hill 4, which had many players unhappy about the drastic change in the gameplay, the franchise decided to return to its classic familiarity. The question, though, is, did they take that too far? Silent Hill Origins is a prequel, taking place 7 or 8 years before Harry Mason's excursion to the town. It sets up how Harry came across Cheryl in the first place, so similarities are to be expected. But I have to wonder, is opening the game the exact same way a good idea? Once again, Alessa causes the protagonist, a trucker late on his run, to swerve and stop. Travis wonders what's going on, and decides to go on a ridiculously long run so the credits have time to go by. Not only is this a totally unneeded nod to SH2, but Travis's truck isn't damaged. He can still drive it. Why is he running? So Travis finds a house on fire, and being a noble soul, rushes inside. He finds young Alessa burned to a crisp, looking suspiciously like she did in the movie. The game's been going on for less than 5 minutes, and already it's showing no signs of imagination. All the games prior to this have their own integrity and originality to lean on, but this one's already on trial status. So he gets Alessa out of there and conveniently goes to sleep. He wakes up in Silent Hill for no apparent reason, just like Harry. This time, though, Travis is on his own. Instead of doing what any sane person would do, and just get the fuck out of there as fast as he can, he decides he must check on the girl. Since he's already there and the hospital is close, I suppose that isn't a huge detour, except that Travis is already late on his run. I guess his career doesn't mean much to him. So Travis jogs over to the hospital, which, surprise, surprise, is deserted. The only person there is Dr. Coffin, resident dickhead. He tells Travis they don't have Alessa and takes off. Travis, still not getting the hint, keeps pressing on. She's not there. What are you trying to accomplish? Travis can't find Coffin, but he does find a killer nurse. Kill it! Kill it! Okay, Travis, gonna leave now? A creepy mirror. A creepy girl on the other side? Time to go now? Going to touch the mirror. Timeout. Is anyone else noticing a problem here? All the previous Silent Hill games gave the protagonist very strong reasons to keep pressing forward. Harry had a daughter, James had a wife, Heather had revenge, and Henry didn't have a choice. But what about Travis? What's keeping him here? Some misplaced compassion over a girl he was already told wasn't at the hospital? Why is he doing this? He has zero motivation. Especially after the deserted town and the dickhead doctor and the killer nurse and the bizarre world mirror, any sane person would be hightailing it the fuck out of this town as fast as they can to their still working truck to get back on that run, which is probably a day late at this point. Oh well, let the forced plot progression continue. Travis makes a dumb and touches the mirror, and finds himself in the terrifying nightmare of Silent Hill's other world. Oh god, what happened? I want to go back. Make it go away! What? You can go back? Yeah, so the switch between worlds is totally at your control in this game. Prior to this, the town always did what it wanted to do. You were at its mercy. It changed worlds when it wanted to, blocked off your paths and crouched wherever it wanted you to go. So all of a sudden, you can just jump between worlds whenever you want. Trevor, are you done yet? You've just set foot in a nightmare dimension and you just were able to get back out. Get out of Silent Hill. The thing that really tears it is you can traverse dimensions totally by accident. Like right here, I'm trying to pick up an item on the counter and whoops! I went into the other world. So now the nightmare dimension is nothing more than a temporary annoyance. Speaking of annoyances, how about the weapons? Whose bright idea was it for the weapons to break? To completely overcompensate, they throw so many weapons at you, there's too many of them to choose from when you're in combat. Like here, Nasty Nurse is coming to Travis. Pick something. Pick something! Oh, I got hit! Get her! Get her! Ah, damn it, it broke! No time to switch. Punch her to death! What kind of game overloads you with so many weapons you can't choose one fast enough, then have them break in the middle of the fight so you have to kill everything with your fists anyway? Alright, I just got a katana. A truly battle-worthy weapon. Now to select it. Where is it? Where? No, I don't want the light stand. That thing's silly. Alright, katana time. Samurai! Hui! Kill that puppet! What? That broke too? A weapon designed specifically for combat and it broke? Okay, gonna face a boss now. What am I gonna choose? What to choose? How about this TV? Alright, boss guy, eat screen! What is he doing? Is he killing me or seducing me? Get him off! Where's the TV? I lost the weapon? Fuck this, it's Rocky time. So Travis wakes up all Harry Mason style, again, and it's Lisa Garland. She's familiar. This is just like when Harry met Sybil. Sorry. So they get mildly flirty. Lisa tells Travis that the girl from the fire died. Then she leaves the sanitarium, saying that's entirely her business. Travis, your work is done. Now you know Alessa did not survive the fire. There is no reason to stick around now. What is this? I have to go to the sanitarium? What the hell for? Travis has no business there. It can't be about Lisa, they just met. What the fuck is the point? So it's off to the sanitarium for absolutely no reason. Now the streets of Silent Hill have inhabitants. It's the same things as that boss that tried to rape Travis. Doesn't it kind of cheapen the idea of a boss that they start popping up everywhere? So anyway, on your way to the sanitarium, we take a trip through the butcher shop and look at that! It's Pyramid Head! What the hell is he doing here? I recall Pyramid Head popping out to punish James for his wrongdoing. Ooh! Here I thought Alessa brought Travis to Silent Hill simply because he was close by at the right time. He must have some repressed sin calling for redemption. This should be good. So we arrive at the sanitarium, and after doing the normal Silent Hill routine of running around, getting keys, and solving puzzles to get the item to open the final door, we find Lisa? Who seems to know far more than she should. You know who's in there? Didn't she say she's a new nurse and had never met Travis before? How could she know anything about him? So inside we go, and the boss turns out to be Travis's mother. Yikes! Doesn't it seem convenient that the place that Travis went to for no apparent reason at all turned out to have some long-buried secret of his past? Does that seem a bit artificial to anyone? So, on the way out, we find a theater ticket. A totally innocuous item that has no bearing on Travis at all. Let's see if there's a theater in town. Why, yes there is. Why don't we go there? Whenever I find a lost theater ticket laying around, the first thing I sure do is steal that ticket and go straight to that show. On the way there, we take a detour through Greenfield Apartments. Yeah, who cares? At the theater, we go inside and look, it's Lisa again. More flirtation, then she leaves again. Constant tease. Keeps popping up for no apparent reason. Knows things that she shouldn't. Does this sound familiar? Say it with me. Lisa is this game's Maria. Yeah, they threw that in there too. So now we have Maria and Pyramid Head. Now, if I remember correctly, they both play big factors in punishing the protagonist for some giant sin that they've forgotten all about. This must be interesting. Travis must have some long-seated demons that he's completely forgotten about. Something huge is coming later on down the line. This could be getting good. Running around the theater doing your thing, you find the stage is set for a performance of The Tempest. Ooh, Caliban. He's probably the boss. That would rule. Face a Shakespearean beast in a Silent Hill game? Nice going, Konami. That's innovation. Here he comes. What is that? That's the guy with his feet over his head from the movie. Fuckers, what's next? Juliet gonna show up looking like Rhoda Mitchell? Alright, that wouldn't be so bad. After slaying Caliban, another mangled corpse, likely courtesy of Pyramid Head, is in the lobby. It has a key to a motel. Hold on a second. That whole episode of the theater didn't accomplish anything. It had nothing to do with Travis whatsoever. What was the point? Maybe it was only to present another boss who could pop up way too often outside. That's all we want. Streets full of giant feet-overhead bathroom guys. The Riverside Motel. Seems Travis was here once as a young lad. The mysteries shall be revealed soon. Yes, look! It's Pyramid Head! And he's actually sticking around this time! This is it! The final battle. Run around the table 3 Stooges style! Yeah! Shoot him! Shoot him! He's down! Travis wins! What revelation could be waiting for our victory? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All that completely extraneous buildup, and it had no purpose. Yes, the The game just keeps going on like it never happened. Another scene with Lisa. That was completely pointless. By the way, that's the last time we see her. That's right. Both Silent Hill 2 rip-off plot elements end at the hotel and have no bearing on anything whatsoever. Here we are at the boss battle. And no, it wasn't Pyramid Head. It's Travis's dad. Hold on. Okay. So Travis's mother and father both died in Silent Hill through utterly psychotic means, leaving Travis a emotionally and psychologically broken man for the rest of his days. If that had happened to me, there is no way I would ever go anywhere near Silent Hill for the rest of my life. It wouldn't matter how late I was on a run. I would take a shortcut through Canada before going anywhere within 100 miles of that town. Waking up from yet another nap, Travis finds the last piece of Triforce. All these boss battles use little pyramid things that Ghost Reel wants. Travis, having proven he's a complete idiot, has been collecting them and decides to put them all together. One Rubik's Cube puzzle later, there she is in the flesh. Now that she's in the real world, so to speak, the first thing she does is turn Silent Hill into Nightmare Land without Travis's permission for the first time. Travis, this is for you. Now, for the first time, Travis really can't leave Silent Hill, so he runs around until finding a lone house that looks normal on the inside. Travis finds a hole. In his infinite wisdom, he goes inside. Hold on. This looks familiar too, doesn't it? A long tunnel that leads to another room that the programmers could have easily accessed by just making a door? Why is there an SH4 ripoff tunnel? There is no point! Anyhow, evil cult, conjured demon, shoot it a lot, game over, you win. Travis remembers he has a truck, drives off to be promptly fired, and Harry finds Cheryl, setting up Silent Hill 1. Correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't the allure of the Silent Hill franchise that each game had its own gimmicks and its own identity? Sure, 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 were connected by plot points, but they were each their own unique game. None of them just took recognizable elements of the previous, threw them in a blender, hit Frap Hey, and kicked out an incoherent mess. When people hear that there's a new Silent Hill game, generally they say, ooh, a new game, not, ooh, the same game all over again. You'd think the designers would give the fan base more credit than that. That's as bad as those scary, date, epic disaster movies where all they do is take a bunch of shit that came out in the past few years, throw it in the toilet, and hit flush. They go, hey, recognize this? Yeah, I do. It wasn't funny the first time. Which is why the Mel Brooks spoofs is so much better. You don't have to know what he's spoofing to find it funny. If you do get it, it's even more funny. He's not just some giant infantile in-joke. So long as we're on the topic, I'm going to address the Zelda series. I know what you're thinking. That heretical bastard. How dare you criticize Zelda? Well, I'm going to. It suffers from the same disease. Zelda, being a quality franchise, has such a strong fan base, is now pandering to them with the same mentality. Much debate has raged over the timeline of Zelda and its continuity. Newsflash, people, there is no continuity. Nintendo is not trying to establish a timeline. Look at Minish Cap, which is pretty clearly the earliest chronological installment in the series so far. Notice some familiar people? Things from, say, Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past, and Majora's Mask? Does that mean Minish Cap takes place after or near these games? No! It means Nintendo is throwing familiar characters in the games only to pander to the fans, rather than create a solid chronological development of Hyrule. That's as bad as George Lucas putting Chewbacca in Star Wars 3 and having Yoda somehow know who he is. Why? In fact, now that I think about it, Silent Hill Origins is pretty much the Indiana Jones 4 of the Silent Hill franchise. A bunch of regurgitated, rehashed, completely destroyed familiar elements, thrown into a crystal meth-induced plotline, chewed up into a gooey paste, and thrown into the fans basically as an insult. It's a very sad day to see 3 franchises like that go belly up to cater to the fanboys. The kinds that bicker about plot lines, only want to see nifty Jedi powers, or give the designers the idea that we want to play the same games over again. All these franchises were groundbreaking when they were new, because they were new. So to all those fanboys out there responsible for ruining these gems, I would like you to do as I do. Find yourself a plastic bag, put it over your face, and inhale deeply.